Right. Hello. Together alone. Day 19 of voluntary lockdown. We've been in this house, not going out, occasionally going out to the shops, very, very, very occasionally, but otherwise we have been here in lockdown. Okay. Lots of things going on. The government's getting it really, really wrong. So we're going to have to do this. We're going to have to take responsibility because we're not being helped. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to go into voluntary lockdown. You're going to have to help your neighbours. You're going to have to reach out. But I need to talk about a couple of things. First of all, we're in a phase now. You're going to hear about this a lot. Well, we have heard about it really. Community spread and community transmission. That means that they've given up more or less on the containment phase. They're not employing contact tracers and things like that. They're just going to they're just going to try and slow this, which is in a way admirable, but they're too slow. So we've got to be quicker. Now, community spread, community transmission, what is it? Well, it's governed by something called R0. R0, that's a 0, yeah, R0, 0. Americans spell it with an A, R0. R0, what is R0? Let's look it up. R0 tells you the average number of people who will catch a disease from one contagious person. It specifically applies to a population of people who were previously free of infection and haven't been vaccinated. If a disease has an R0 of 18, a person who has the disease will transmit it to an average of 18 other people, as long as no one has been vaccinated against it or is already immune in their community. And of course nobody's been vaccinated and nobody is immune. So, this disease does not have an R0 of 18. It has an R0 north of 2. Yeah? And by going into voluntary isolation, voluntary lockdown, you're helping to break that. So it doesn't go 2, then 2 and 2, right, 4, 2 and 2 and 2 and 2, 8, yes? And so on. You go into voluntary lockdown, you protect yourself, and more importantly, you become a kind of very special person because the disease ends with you. You don't become a vector for transmission. And here we go. Look, I got something here. This is quite pretty actually. These lights are from Aldi. Other supermarkets are available. Okay. Right, now, there are in fact 10 strands here coming out of this plug. Yeah? So, like all of my metaphors, it doesn't quite work. It doesn't quite work. It doesn't quite work. Because the first lot has an R0 of 10, and then all of these have an R0 of 1. Because look, it only goes from one person to another person to another person. Yeah. But let's have a proper look. Here we go. Yeah. So. Now, I know I'm going to change the exposure here. If it was an R0 of 2, there would actually be an awful lot more lights lit. The gentleman in the wet market in Wuhan, who first picked up this disease, well, he is the progenitor, the father of every single one of those lights. Yeah? Not his fault. Should have been stamped on in Wuhan. Wasn't. That's the past. What we've got to deal with now is the present. But all of those lights are people who've caught the disease. And somewhere between 1 in 100 and 5 in 100 of those lights are deaths. Right. So, yeah, just point it down. There we go. And what happens is you need to lock yourself away. You need to do it as soon as you can. And then you turn off this. You turn it off. Yeah? You don't get that because you're running out on the street, running around on the street, getting the disease and spreading it around. You only have to give it to 2 people. And then 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. And that maths that goes 2, 4, 8, 16, 34, 32, you know, on and on and on and on. So you break the maths. You become a hero, yeah? So Together Alone, it's a movement. As soon as you can, go into voluntary lockdown, encourage others to do so, reach out to those people who are less fortunate than you on your street, help them as much as you can. If you can go into voluntary lockdown, you've probably got a little bit of money, okay? Do it. Just get on with it. Do it. There isn't a lot of time. Okay? Alright, listen, thanks very much. And we'll be making another video. Thank you very much. Bye.